Hello, everyone. So, I watched Moana 2 maybe a few days ago, and as a certified Disney adult myself, I feel like I'm allowed to speak on this, but it was absolutely awful. And I myself am a big fan of the original film. I saw it twice in theaters and I absolutely adored it, but the sequel was just not good. Um, so, first of all, the animation, while a lot of the scenery was absolutely gorgeous, the water, the land, the leaves, the sky, they were all breathtaking at parts. But there was also a lot of times where the animation looked weird, particularly the characters. Like, there were a lot of parts where it looked like Moana's neck was like kind of going up and down, and Maui's proportions just looked very odd. Now, I do not have a background in animation or graphic design or anything like that, so take that as you will. Maybe the animation's actually incredible and I'm just too much of a simpleton to really appreciate it. But I was getting a lot of Uncanny Valley vibes, which is strange because I normally don't get that from Disney movies or even just in general. But yeah, that was quite interesting. Next, the songs were terrible. Um, I liked how at the end, I liked how Moana and Maui were both singing the away, away. Like, I thought that was really cute. But everything other than that was just so boring, so dull. I turned to my friend while we were watching it and I was like, maybe Disney needs to, cut Lin-Manuel Miranda loose after a little for a little while after this, because he sounds like a parody of himself. Like, it sounds the songs in the movie sounded as if I asked ChatGPT, "Hey, make me a song in the style of Lin-Manuel Miranda." And, only to find out that once the movie is finished, he didn't even do the music for it. Somebody else did. So that's probably why it sounded so awful. I'm sorry to whoever did the music. There were so many new characters, none of which were charming or interesting or developed. I'm sorry, but I don't care about that one Wayfinder lady who had like the Broadway style song. I don't care about the guy who, I guess she kind of has like a will have like a will they, won't they type relationship. I don't care about the old man. I don't care about the dorky engineering girl boss character. And I, okay, sue me. I don't care about her little sister. Um, there was so much gross out humor in it, and I've never really been a big fan of gross out humor. Um, I am a '90s baby, and uh, like, even when I was younger, I hated Shrek. Like, absolutely hated Shrek. I thought he was gross. I still do, and I'm not going to be sorry for that. But yeah, there was just a lot of gross out humor in the movie, and I don't really understand the purpose of it. It felt like, honestly, it was just cheapening the whole brand and vibe and aesthetic of Moana. And yeah, I don't care about any of these new characters. What I wish was, well, and before I even get to this, I feel like Maui was just treated as an absolute joke in this film. Um, I'm not one of those conspiracy theorists who thinks things like, "Oh, Disney, they're sending messages that they want men to be weak and stupid and be mocked, and they all want women to be girl bosses." Like, I think that's a little silly. But watching this movie, I was like, hey, I can kind of understand why somebody would come to that conclusion, because I feel like Maui was just treated as like an absolute joke. Like, he's captured for half of the movie, he's covered in snot and vomit. Like, it was just weird. I didn't understand it. Um, so what my wish for the movie was, I really wish we could have almost had like a back to basics storyline, you know, just Maui and just Moana having a little adventure on the sea, and, you know, what have you there. I I don't care about this like ragtag team. Honestly, could you say it was like a knockoff Timu, AliExpress, Great Value version of One Piece? Like, no, because they're not pirates, but like it felt like they were trying, it felt like the creators of the movie, whoever wrote it, it felt like they were kind of trying to have like okay, Moana's putting together a crew, but nobody, like, I don't care about these people. I want OG Moana and I want OG Maui from the first movie that we fell in love with. Um, it the movie was so bad. I hated it. Like, absolutely hated it. And it breaks my heart to say that because I am a big Disney fan. And, you know, speaking of Disney sequels, my absolute favorite Disney movie ever of all time is Zootopia. And no, before you ask that question that everyone asks, the answer is no. The answer is no. But Zootopia is very near and dear to my heart because when the movie first came out, I was going to college in New York City, so the whole like everyone can do, anybody can be anything, anyone can do anything. You know, all these different people from all these different animals from all over the world coming together and living in one big city together. Like, I felt that my life was very much that. I'm recording this on like the photo booth for Mac, and I just got like, I don't know, they just gave me a thumbs up. Is that going to be in the actual video? Who knows? But yeah, so Zootopia is very near and dear to my heart. I saw that movie in the movie theaters 3 times. I pre-ordered the DVD when not the DVD, the Blu-ray when it first came out. I had it. I actually think I had the Blu-ray a few days early because I ordered it. Maybe I ordered it from Amazon, or I might have been so dedicated that I ordered it from uh, like Disney itself. But I loved that movie. I've seen it a gazillion and one times. I could probably quote it like just off my head because that is how many times I've watched the movie. And, you know, um, Moana 2 was just so soulless and such a cash grab and so void of any creativity and heart and interesting plot that, like, please, I'm praying that Zootopia 2 is incredible, because if it's bad, I'm gonna, like, I'm not gonna do anything bad. I'm just gonna be like mildly disappointed. But still, I loved Zootopia and I'm very scared for the sequel now, because if this is the caliber of sequels that we're gonna get, um, yeah, it is not looking too hot, unfortunately. But um, yeah, Moana 2 was terrible. It was so bad. In fact, it was so bad that there's a little part of me that feels like I need to go back and watch the first Moana again to make sure that, like, hey, the first one was good, right? Like, it's so bad that it made me start second guessing the first one. And that's not fair for the first one because the first one is fantastic. And Ali, she did an amazing job. Like, her voice is beautiful as always. The Rock is The Rock. But, yeah, this movie was just awful. It really was. And, I don't know. Disney's in a bit of an interesting place right now because, we just had Lilo and Stitch, the live action version that came out, and I saw that in the movie theaters. I thought that it was very cute. It was cute. I know a lot of people are having a reaction to the ending, and I do understand that, and I understand why a lot of people are so put off by it, but it really didn't bother me too much. And I don't know, I am like a little sensitive to things like that. Um, and when I say things like that, I mean, I guess like anti-family messaging, because it is pretty pervasive in um, American society, American media, to just like, throw little throw little messages in there that make that plant seeds in your head that are basically like, you deserve more. You go, girl boss. Um, Belle, I want much more than this provincial life. Ariel, I want to be where the people are. So I do pick up on things like that. But with that being said, I thought the Lilo and Stitch drama, or the reaction, was a little. I don't necessarily think it was warranted. It wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. But yeah, so Lilo and Stitch had a lot of controversy around the ending, and regardless, it made like a ton of money at the box office, and it's gonna keep making money at the box office. So, like, that's a win for Disney. There's all the Snow White controversy that I am not gonna touch with a 10-foot pole. And then, Marvel's not been really doing too hot either. We had Captain America, Brave New World, which I did not see. We had, and yeah, Captain America, Brave New World didn't do very well. Thunderbolts, actually, I thought was a pretty good movie, but people didn't come out and see it. And, can you blame them? Because essentially what Disney's saying is, here's the B team, here's the characters who were, side characters in Disney Plus shows, or side characters in some of our movies, and, I think that the trust in the brand isn't there at the moment. I think that they've really, I think Disney, Marvel, they've used a lot of the goodwill. Like, the goodwill is all run out. You know what I mean? But regardless, so they have two flops, or flops for Marvels. They have two flops that just came out this year. And soon we have the new Fantastic Four movie coming out, First Steps. And I'm very interested in seeing how that will do, because when I was a child, that's when the Fantastic Four movie with, I think, Jessica Alba, was she Sue Storm? But I loved that movie when I was a kid. I had, like, those bootlegs that they used to sell in fast food parking lots. I had one of Fantastic Four, and I watched it all the time. I would I would read fan fiction of Fantastic Four. And my brother and I, we had a doll of Mr. Fantastic. It's It was just like a doll, and he had like this weird like jelly body, and you could stretch him out, and it was so cool, and we loved this doll so much. And one day I was really curious to see what was inside of him, so I took the doll and I took a scissor and I just like poked a little hole in it just because I wanted to see. But then all this sticky, like, maple syrup stuff, lack for a better term, obviously it was not real Uh, it was not real maple syrup. But all this stuff just started coming out, and I was like, oh wow, he's sticky, and now we can't play with him anymore. So I ruined one of mine and my brother's favorite childhood toys. Um, but yeah, so basically, what I'm trying to say is that I do have a lot of fondness for Fantastic Four. And I remember when Disney first bought, was it? Yeah, it was Fox, right? So when Disney first bought Fox, it was, again, it was around the time that I was in college, I think, and I would keep up with a lot of the subreddits that talk about, I guess, the more behind the scenes, businessy side of the movie industry. And so Marvel fans were going bananas over the fact that there was going to be a Fantastic Four movie. Fantastic Four movie. Fantastic Four movie. This is going to be so amazing. And yeah, I don't know how it's really going to do going forward. I could see it being a smash hit, and I could see it being the movie of the summer, and I could also see it being a huge disappointment. So it will be interesting to see. Oh, and I just totally glossed over Elio, which is, you know, people are saying it is Pixar's biggest flop. That's something. That's definitely something. I mean, I'll be honest. I I know that this term is considered a dog whistle, but I don't like that animation style. I don't like the Cal Arts, the Bean style, where everyone looks like a Steven Universe character. I don't like that. So, of course, I'm going to see the movie, but just my thoughts going in. I didn't really care. I don't like the art style. Um, I don't think that the trailers did a very good job advertising the film. Okay, so there's a kid named Elio who, uh, the implication is that he's somewhere on the autism spectrum or he's neurodivergent and he loves space. Like, okay. Are we gonna do something else? Like, I don't think that the trailer did a very good job selling it, and I haven't really dug. Well, I haven't dug too far into the reviews yet, but I've watched a few YouTube videos about it, so I know some people are. I've heard a lot of people mostly. So I've mostly heard this coming from adult men, so take that as you will. But I've heard a lot of adult men saying that it is the worst Pixar movie ever, and that it deserves to bomb, and that, Disney is intentionally burying this. And then I've also heard people say, it's gonna be a financial miss, but is it a good movie? Yes. Yes, it is. So once I see the movie, I'm definitely gonna do a review and let everyone know what my personal thoughts on it were or are. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so it's interesting to see where Disney goes going forward. I hope that the movies get better and, um, you know, silly, right, wrong, different, dumb, stupid, like Disney as a brand, Pixar as a brand, they mean a lot to people. They mean something, and it means something to me, and it's gonna, regardless, like whatever politics people have, whatever snarky jokes or memes people throw around, it's gonna continue to mean something to me, and it's gonna continue to bring me joy and um, you know have me interested. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Did you like Moana 2? Am I just being mean and grumpy? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.